In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Anakin Skywalker, based upon his appearance in Season 2 of the Tartakovsky series. So this is an action figure I unfortunately missed out on at the time. I don't even recall really seeing him in stores. I don't recall if he was easily available, or if he was hard to find, or what. He was grouped into the same wave, or around the same wave, as Darth Revan and Malak and pre-cyborg Grievous. Figures like that, for instance. So he may have been one that's hard to find. I forget at the time. But fortunately, one day I was passing through Arizona, and I happened to stop at a comic book shop in Glendale. And I happened to see this action figure on shelves for about $14. And when I saw that, I instantly knew that, yes, I have to get this action figure, and it's about time I do. And I'm happy to have it for my collection. It's a great Anakin Skywalker, and at the time it was probably one of the best. And even to this day, I still think it holds up really well. So something unique to add for the collection. But anyways, let's just go ahead and check out this package for this. And I did rip the bubble off the card there, so unfortunately it does tear a little bit into Anakin's image there. But as you can see, Hasbro was pretty creative about how they did this. They basically did a realistic interpretation of Anakin from that series. It's clearly a headshot of Hayden Christensen there. And it looks pretty good. It's Anakin Skywalker, 30th, the coin, and I will show you the coin here in a second. Image from the series there while Anakin is saddling up to get ready to go. Interesting little bit of history. The Nelvon Warrior was supposed to get an action figure at one point. I forget if it was towards the end of the Legacy collection or the beginning of the Vintage collection. It was one of the two. And Hasbro did draw up the plans for it. Unfortunately, it just never went through. So we were supposed to get the Nelvon Warrior at one point. There's a description, characteristics, and the other figures from the line. I do have Revan and Malak reviewed on the channel. I will get to the Yoda and Kybuk and the pre-cyborg Grievous at some point. And the rest of those I don't have. I wouldn't mind getting the Ithorian Jedi here. And maybe this guy. And Oompa Stay. So that's the package. And before we look at the figure, I'll show you the coin here real quick. See if I can find it. Alright. So there's the coin there of Anakin in slot. That'd be number 33. Right beside Revan. And it just says Jedi Knight, 33 and 30th. And on the back, I'm pretty sure it just says Expanding Universe. We'll do a more in-depth review of this coin album at some point, but I'll save that for figure number 1, which came with that set, and that was Darth Vader. Which is the same Darth Vader that I reviewed in his TIE Advanced 1 that I did a couple months ago on the channel. Let's just go ahead and take a look at this figure. So it's clear Hasbro was going for a more realistic interpretation with this Anakin. And I think they did a good job. It's a really good Anakin head sculpt. He is looking a little thin. I think thinner than what Anakin normally is. But it's pretty good. Tattoos are very distinguished. Just yellowish pants with his brown boots. And his belt. Which, interestingly enough, even though he has a peg there where you can put a lightsaber, he didn't come with a unignited lightsaber hilt. So in terms of the articulation, his head is on a ball joint there, and he does have hinged shoulders, which has a really good range of motion. Does have hinged elbows, no articulation in this wrist, but he does have a swivel forearm on this side, and that's probably mostly because he has the removable hand there. He does have a swivel waist, then swivel hips, then hinged knees, and no articulation ankles. In terms of weapons and accessories, like I mentioned, he doesn't have an unignited lightsaber, but he does have an ignited lightsaber, which is the same exact Anakin Skywalker lightsaber that we've been getting for years at this point. Nothing really unique to say about that. And he does come with his robotic hand without the glove. And as you can see from the part there, you can take this robotic hand off, which has a peg at the end there, and you can put his destroyed arm for when he stuck his hand in the beam there and crushed the crystal within his hand. And it can be a little difficult to get on. To be honest with you, I don't think I've really gotten this on his hand before. Alright, I'll admit it is kind of tricky to get on there, and I'm afraid of breaking the peg, but it's on there good enough to get the point across. If you recall that scene in Season 2 where he crushes the crystal in his hand there, and then he destroys the whole what was it, basically the power supply for the facility that they were housing the Nelvon warriors and experimenting on them. It's from that scene there. Yeah, be careful with that peg on the end. As you can see, mine was like that anyway. Fortunately, his mechanical arm does go back into place just fine. Perhaps the hole on this is a little bit smaller than it should be. Suppose you could get them in a two-handed grip if you wanted to. And I will note one more thing here. He does have a tear on the side of his pants there. And so I didn't really notice that till recently. It blends in. Well, other than that, I think that's all I can really tell you about this Anakin Skywalker. We'll do one comparison here with the Saga Legends or the other 30th anniversary Anakin that we got. And they look really good side by side. I think this one's in direct competition with this one in terms of likeness. And it still holds up really well today, even after, what's it been, 15, 16 years now at this point. So would I recommend this Anakin for your collection? I would. I think it's one of the, like I said, it's one of the best Anakins that Hasbro's ever produced. I know it's very scene specific and you have to be really into the Turnikoski series probably to appreciate it, but it's really neat. I think it's Anakin as Prime. It's a very important arc in his story, and it's a highly recommended figure. So anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. We'll be playing more to come. And if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate the support. Check out some of the links in the description as well. Thanks for watching.